How have I not come across this guy before? So very impressed. And yeah, thank you so much for being on the show. And as Keith says, this is Sports Stars Aren't Special, where we get to know the person behind the profile. And when sports stars aren't excelling in their fields, that they do have problems like the rest of us and how they overcome them. So Shane, thank
Perfect.
you so much again for being on the show. And I guess, do you want to start from the start?
Yeah, sure thing. So I was born in Canada, British Columbia, and then my family is all from Ireland on my mom's side. So that's the connection there. And then, yeah, so in Canada, skating's kind of like it's part of the culture here. So originally I was in hockey, my brother and I, and then we inherited a shorter gene. So we didn't grow that much. So we segued from hockey and then into figure skating. And then from there, yeah, we just started excelling, my brother and I, and then continued on our way. And then here we are now.
And what age did you make that transition from hockey to figure skating?
I think roughly seven. So yeah, I probably did hockey for maybe a year or two or something. And then I think the kind of what happened is when it started getting into like hitting that
Yeah.
league, when it's like, then I was like, no, oh, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
And then went
yeah.
into skating.
And was your brother is your brother older or younger than you?
Older brother by 2 years. And yeah, so he did figure skating too. He went to the 2014 Olympics for Canada.
Wow, so you've got quite a talented family there. You know?
We get by.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boy, yeah,
bye.
boy.
This is like I love that response. So like 7 years old, that's young. And was it quite an intense training regime straight away, or how did you ease into it?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, so how it works is like there's like a kind of a generalized program where they kind of funnel people into, and then from there, I think it's called like can skate or something. And then from there, basically what coaches will do or how it used to work is they kind of get kids that maybe were a little more inclined or had a lot of enthusiasm for the sport. And then if they wanted to, they talk to the parents and then more private lessons to just get progress quicker. So I wouldn't say it was overly and like it was still like I was a kid, so um it wasn't super intense at the start, but then as the years went by, obviously uh intensity went up as well as just the volume and everything, right?
And
And
would you
did
ever
you
think of giving ice hockey another go? Right there.
No, I don't, maybe a little rec league or something, but I don't think it's for me. I don't like there's just a lot of gear too, and
Yeah.
the gear cannot smell great. If you've ever been to a rink, it's just like I don't know, it's not my vibe, but great sport nonetheless.
It's a great sport, and but like you say, it's no joke. When I watch it, I'm like, how are they even moving in all that gear? It's an art in
Yeah.
itself to be able to carry that much weight. Additionally, and to move fast, it's incredible.
Mhm.
But then as you moved along with your training regime as a child onto an adolescent, did you fall in love with it straight away? Obviously, you kept going to the lessons, or was there a moment when you knew like this is for me, like I'm into this?
Yeah, so I'd say in my career there's a couple points. So in skating, there's a couple different disciplines. There's singles for men and ladies, and then there's pairs, and then ice dance is what I presently do. And then so originally I was in. Most people start in singles, so you'll start in singles just because there's like less logistics. It's like easier to start by yourself, and then really enjoyed that. And then I got to pretty high level, junior level, and then kind of hit a plateau. And then I guess, like skating quality wise, it was always very good. And then people were like, "Oh, you should try ice dance." And initially, I wasn't overly receptive to it because I was like, I like jumping and whatever. So, uh, but then I gave it a shot, and then I really enjoyed it. And then kind of from there, the process is like finding a partner both that matches your skill level and I guess like your drive as well as your ability. So segued in, and then over the years, just kind of pursued that and had success. Was say third at junior nationals in Canada, and then second another time with a different partner, and then presently in with my now wife and partner Lan, and then from there we've kept progressing.
Cool. What's the difference then between ice dance and figure skating? Is it what you just said about the jumping and stuff, is it?
So yeah, think of like figure skating's the main umbrella, like the main category, and then
Yeah,
within that you have the four disciplines, and then
right.
basically ice dance is like Torval and Dean. I guess
Yeah,
they're a pretty
yeah.
good reference point for most people.
Yeah,
That's ice dance. So it's you
right.
do lifts, you do spins, you do twizzles. There's no jumping and there's no throwing. So the other discipline that's kind of similar is pairs. And what the main difference is like they'll lift the girl over the head and lock the arms,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then they'll jump and the guy will also like toss the girl. So in ice dance we don't throw women around. Um, we do like nice lifts,
Yes.
more dance focus, and like it's a sport more of precision and consistency. Because with the other disciplines, there's a lot more variance in performance because it's I guess, higher risk elements.
yeah.
So more falls in those disciplines, less falls in mine, and it's kind of more of a game of like inches, I guess, or
Yeah.
millimeters.
Would you give it a go, Claire?
I wish I could. It is incredible to watch. It is so beautiful, so aesthetic. And I think
Mm,
what you said there, Shane, about the fact that it's a little bit less risky, I don't know, is enjoyable as well because you're not worried someone's going to really hurt themselves as well,
mm,
in a good way. I think it's just so beautiful to watch. And you
mm.
and your wife, and your partner, like the talent, like you're just burning up that, the rink
Yeah,
as you perform. It's just so gorgeous to watch.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
And
you.
yeah.
just, like it's just gorgeous because
Mm,
again, I was watching a lot of videos in the last few days, and it's just so aesthetically pleasing. The bond you must have, and I always am fascinated by this with any kind of sport that doubles, whatever that's tennis or dance or it must be just the closest thing. Like obviously it helps you're married, so like
Helps a little, yeah.
yeah, yeah. How did that come about? If you don't mind telling us.
Yeah, sure. So I think we got together when I would think was 21 or so, and then initially I was training in a place called Barrie, Ontario, and she was training in Montreal, Quebec.
Okay.
And then we had grown up with each other, competing against each other kind of throughout the year. So we knew each other. The skating world's not overly huge. Um, and then from there, I was ending my partnership at the time with my other partner due to just like differences. And then she, as well, was ending her partnership with her partner at the time, I think due to injury or something. So shot her a message. And then at the time, what you do is you do a tryout and then you kind of negotiate what you're thinking and where your goals are, and everything lined up for us. And then from there, when I moved to Montreal, we were actually both dating different people.
Oh,
Um, but I guess there was a vibe.
there is a
So there was a vibe.
vibe.
So yeah, probably about 6 months elapsed, and then since we teamed up or so, and then I broke up with the person I was dating, and then she also broke up with the person she was dating, or yes, and then it kind of just happened from there.
So yeah, all the stars aligned very nicely there, which I love those stories. It all worked
Mhm.
out lovely. And
mm.
obviously working together, living together, that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. How do you manage that, or is it just an easy process for you guys?
Yeah, I don't know. For us, it is pretty easy. Obviously, there's moments where, say, we're tired
Yeah,
or
of course.
etc., where we're just like, okay, I need some space. But by and large, um, yeah, it was more of a glove fit. Like I'm definitely more go 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 high energy, and I kind of am always going. And Kiddo can be a little more chill if she needs more time, but we kind of complement each other in a nice way. So
Yeah.
there haven't been too many bumps in the road, but
So
yeah,
if you
we
have,
just managed.
what if you like if you have an argument and then you have to go into training the next day and you have to like basically be like, next to each other like all the time. And has that happened yet? Not that I want to like
Yeah,
jinx it or
so
anything,
like
but
in yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, basically we do a very good job of like leaving home at home, and
mm,
then when
okay.
we're training, they like we're at work. It's like it's time to lock in. So we've done a good job of that. That's kind of been our policy. Um, Not saying we always stick to it, but by and large, the vast
Yeah.
majority of time,
Yeah.
yeah, that's been the case.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not too bad, I suppose, isn't it? Because, like, as you say, Claire, like, you could end up bringing it home with you as well. Like, it can kind of work both
No, you don't
ways.
want to do that.
Yeah,
You don't
Yeah.
exactly.
want to do that. Yeah. Like again, like the level of bond and trust you must have is amazing. You know, it's like it's just something that is so hard to find. So like you said, it's just as well all those things worked out because you're obviously a great
Yeah,
partnership, you
exactly.
know, going out. I'm fascinated to know, like, you know, in your sport, what is your day to day like? You know, can you give us a rundown what that looks like and like nutrition and things like that? I'm sure you do like other gym workouts outside of skating. Be great to hear some of the stuff about that.
Yeah, of course. So our training schedule is typically Monday to Friday. So we do 5 days on the ice. And then of that, we'll do roughly three plus hours of on ice training. So
Wow.
within that, we'll work on our routines, our programs, just reps of stuff for like really making everything as perfect as it can be.
Of
And
course.
then in addition to that, we'll do gym twice a week with our trainer. And then I guess the focus there, like we each kind of have different focuses, but for me, we really work on like muscle endurance.
Of course.
Because basically it definitely feels a lot better. Like say you're at the 3 minute and 30 second of the program mark, and our long program is roughly 4 minutes. If you have like a lot of your legs aren't burning that much, like you still have a lot of gas in the tank. Mentally, it really helps, and also for like execution, because what can really set teams apart is kind of just carrying that energy that you have at the beginning all the way through to the end. And then for keto, she kind of does that as well, but also some like rehab, just like body functional stuff. So to maintain the body and make sure like nothing gets injured.
Yeah, yeah. What's the nutrition like and the diet and the food like? Are you able to stick to that, or does it kind of get a bit kind of rigorous and monotonous after a while?
Uh, Great question. So for us, we do a pretty good job of like not meal prep, but like organizing our
Yeah,
Yeah.
groceries. It's just like it's too much to eat out um, all the time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Here in Canada, at least. So like yeah, well we have like Costco here, so we'll go to Costco, kind of do like a big haul, free stuff, and then make stuff and go from there. So we do a pretty good job. I wouldn't say we're like overly strict. We're not like counting
yeah,
our calories or
yeah,
anything. But for me, like I know it works for me, so like we stick more to like lean meats, and then also like in Canada, I don't really eat the bread here for some reason. It doesn't work well for me. So like unfortunately,
yeah,
I avoid bread here. Keto does not. She loves the bread, so um, yeah, it doesn't get monotonous, but it may be sometimes mundane. But like overall, yeah, we have options and
You have
we plan
options.
accordingly. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can like have a pizza if you wanted it. You know, it's not
we do a pizza from time to time. Yeah, it's not we're not like super
religious.
super strict. Yeah, like
No.
if we need a little pick me up treat, by all means, we'll go for it. I tend to uh, a little bit further out from competition, maybe eat a little more clean, but just in general, we already do eat, I guess, at a higher standard. So um, there's
Yeah.
not much
Yeah.
change up in the diet, I guess.
What would be your, I don't know if this is one of the questions at the end or not, I can't remember, Claire, but if it
I
is, we'll
think
just,
it is.
it is it? What would be your go, like your cheat meal?
Mm, Great question. There's like close to us, there's like a smoked meat sandwich place.
Okay.
That's very good. It's like has like mustard on like a rye bread, if I'm eating bread,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then like really good smoked meat. So it's super good. And then
yeah,
maybe a pizza, you know.
yeah, yeah.
A dream. It sounds like a really nice
Mm.
like a toasty or something as we call, you know, here in Dublin, like we love
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a
What's
toasty.
your
So,
guys' cheat meal?
great question. I mean, there's so many. Keith, you can go first.
I like pizza. Pizza's be mine.
Um,
Yeah, I like pizza.
I like
Yeah.
pizza, but my favorite is definitely Thai food. So like, yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, nice.
you've had
yeah,
it a few times in the last while, and I've never had it before, but it's actually really, really nice. I think we had this
You like
conversation
it?
before, Claire, actually. Yeah, it's really
yeah.
nice. Yeah, it's lovely.
And it's super healthy. Well, most of the dishes are super healthy, so it's
Yeah,
actually not really like a
yeah.
cheat meal, you know.
And
So
it's not spicy. I don't do spicy
Okay,
food, so well, what I had there wasn't spicy anyway.
nice.
it's
Where
yeah,
do you guys land on the spice bag? I've yet to have one, but
I've never
great
we're
had
gonna
them.
try to get one
question.
when it's good.
You've had one, Shane, right? I'm guessing you've had one.
No, the last time we were in Dublin, we just couldn't make the time for it. So this time
All right.
it's happening.
On the list, and we want to get, you need to do like a YouTube review of the spice bag. That
Okay,
would
yeah.
so many hits, like
Mm,
that'll be the best engagement.
mm.
I like it definitely like a spice bag once in a while. Like, it's carbs, it's meat, it's veg, it's
All the
like,
good stuff.
it's good, and it's just like really nice seasoning. So I would
Mm.
definitely say I have a couple of spice bags a year. They're definitely really, really good, but not too often, but they're
Yeah,
yum. Do you
yeah.
like them?
Okay.
Never
Is
had
there like
one.
a spot that everyone goes to? Like, what's the spot? Or you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. Like any Irish chipper or Chinese does them. Camille Thai, shout out Camille Thai, and they do them.
Sponsor.
Yeah, pretty much. Any kind of fast food place will do a spice bag. And I think it originated in Chinese's, but now everywhere does them. But you have got to have one the next time you're here because
100%.
they are I like it's hard not to like them. If they're made to be, addicted to.
I'm
You
excited.
gotta go for it. So Shane, just on the again, but going back to our theme of a podcast, so we're always really interested to hear this from our guests, is about two things. A moment where you felt special, where you've had, I suppose, up to this point in your life, your highest point of success, and a moment where you did not feel special, a moment where like you were seriously challenged and you were like you had to fight hard to come back from it. We'd love to hear about that because our listeners love hearing again how people like you who are an elite athlete has overcome challenges.
Yeah, sure thing. I guess a recent one that we were really proud of was last season. Obviously, was our first season representing Ireland,
Yes, that's right.
and then we didn't know how it was going to be received, I guess, internationally. And then, so the two championship events we did Europeans, and it was a great event. I think probably the best event we've ever done in our lives. It was like at least 40,000 people, packed venue. Normally the venues they're kind of full, but this one was outstanding. And yeah, so making it through to the free dance because there's a cutoff, and then doing the free dance in front of that, it was sold out crowd. Representing Ireland was definitely a really really special moment. And then same for Worlds in Montreal last year. So again, it was the first time a team representing Ireland had qualified, and then again qualified to the free to compete in the free. So definitely very special moments for us, and something we'll treasure for always.
They're like, yeah, I know it was a huge deal with the Irish connection there and coming over to represent Ireland. I know it was a challenge in itself, but
Yeah,
you succeeded and you got there,
yeah.
which we're very glad of. And then, yes, a moment that you were really challenged, like what has been the most challenging moment in your career up till now?
Yeah. There's been a couple. So I guess when we were representing Canada, we had a lot of success early. So we came like second out of four continents, kind of like third and fourth at nationals, but we really hit a wall. We plateaued, and then we were stagnant kind of in the rankings. So we were not able to really break through at all. So there was just a lot of maybe 2 or 3 years where we were just kind of getting almost on repeat, kind of the same season. Like we'd improve and then train, put in so much effort, and then basically get the exact same result again, always, always. So that was definitely demoralizing. And then we really had to take stock, like if we wanted to keep pursuing this, or make a change. So then that's obviously when we start investigating representing Ireland. Um, so yeah, definitely the last couple years of representing Canada, definitely very was obviously it was still we enjoyed the sport, but it was very hard to kind of we were still motivated, but very hard to
Yeah,
not get down. You know what I mean?
yeah, of
And
course.
because you're always striving for excellence, and then you think you're improving or you are improving, but it's not reflective. And then of course,
Mm.
how kind of the sport works is you have to achieve results to get say funding or just more support from the federation in general. So it's kind of you sink or swim, right? So we were constantly swimming, but also in tandem, constantly sinking. So yeah, definitely. And then within those, there was a couple kind of competitions where that really stood out to us, where we definitely going in, we had a lot of momentum and we thought we would do well, and just completely got there and
Mhm.
total 180 of what we thought and just knocked the wind out of our sails. So coming to having to come back from those and then kind of ignore the noise, get back to work, and then refocus was basically like 2 seasons of that where we'd kind of make headway and then knock down and then make it again, and you know what I mean? Which nothing's ever linear, but
Mm,
it was a lot of that for a couple of years.
yeah, yeah. Could we talk about the fact that you did change from kind of representing Canada to Ireland? I mean, obviously that's going to be a difficult thing for you, but kind of what was kind of the the trigger point for you to do that?
Yeah, so I think really for us, it was the last nationals that we did for Canadians, which was I guess in 2022 or something,
Yeah.
in Ontario. So we did that, and then I think we were fourth, I think again, and it was just like we'd been the fourth the year before, and the marks were like I think lower than we received internationally, which typically domestically your judges kind of give you a little boost and say, hey, here you go, like good job. But it was just like the same internationally and same domestically, and then we were just like, okay, I think we're good here. We've done all we can, and is there a potential? So I think that was the kind of the litmus test. And we'd been kind of thinking it over a little bit. It was kind of always in the back of our heads, like, is there a move here, an opportunity? And I think that was it. So we didn't actually do like bad. We skated very well again, um, but yeah, it was just kind of we were at that exact same point. You know what I mean? It was just a repeat.
Yeah, yeah. And then, like, is the coaching different in Ireland, or did you just feel that you'd be kind of accepted more, or was it, was it just like a
Yeah.
change?
So change, yes. And then also it really gave us a fresh perspective on our skating. So everything was almost new again. Uh, when we like went down the route of approaching the Irish Figure Skating Federation, very receptive,
I bet.
totally different. Yeah, well,
They were like,
totally,
yes.
totally. Think of Skate Canada. They're definitely a bigger organization, like way more levels of like bureaucracy. And Ireland's definitely more boutique. They're run mostly by volunteers. I think all by volunteers actually.
Okay.
So really, like you're in direct contact. It's really more communal, and it's not that Canada was like bad or
Of
anything, but
course.
it was just a totally different dynamic, right? Like you had direct access to these people, really know what's on their mind. They were very straightforward, and less just uh, double
Yeah.
speak or anything like that, right? So
Yeah.
um,
It's a lot more intimate, I imagine. Like it's obviously just a
totally, yeah,
smaller situation. Like so that's really nice because, like you said, you've kind of got complete access, and I'm sure it's yeah, just more we call boutique. Like it's a much smaller situation. So that's really can be really really helpful. But I thought it was so interesting, Shane. How you talked about that stagnation and the demoralization, and the strength it took obviously to get through that and then to come out of it and now be in a brilliant place again. Like that's really admirable. Like how do you foster that mindset as an athlete, or do you think that's something you've always just had?
it's definitely both. You have to cultivate it, and then
Mm.
some people are, I think, more inclined to just keep
Yeah.
pushing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we definitely had to like sit down, assess, and discuss what we wanted. So we wanted to keep pursuing this dream and this goal of skating internationally and going to championships,
Mm-hmm.
and that was um, not possible at Canada. Well, like maybe, but it was just definitely everything was not in our favor. So the goal was to like really change the dynamic, um, and just not that we weren't in love with the sport anymore, but really like fall in love with it again. So by doing so, like Ireland definitely gave us that opportunity, and just the support we've had from them, the reception, uh, really just added all that. It like made, if there was any doubt, it was all gone
Mm-hmm.
by the end of the process, right?
Yeah. Is your brother still competing?
No, no, no.
No.
He stopped 2018.
Okay.
So kind of Keto and I got together in 2017, 2016. So when we partnered up, it was kind of the end of his career. And then, yeah, he had a lot of success, definitely again, early days. And then he got injuries.
Yeah.
And then the end of his career was definitely more up and down. Like he skated really well and then not so well, injuries. And then he moved coaching. So, and it was a deep field at the time. And in skating, there is definitely levels of pressure or politics where it's easier for some and harder for others, right? So
Yeah.
like in most things.
Yeah, yeah, true. And would you ever think of doing like kind of changing discipline and just kind of maybe trying like doing it as, like singles or something like that?
No, not at my age, definitely not. But going back, no, going back, I would definitely make all the choices again to get into ice dance. But recommending people to the sport, it really depends what you want. So I think in singles there is a bit more clear cut. Um,
Mm.
Results are more clear cut, right? Like this person
Yeah.
fell 5 times, right? They're not going to do well, but this person landed everything, they're going to do well.
Okay.
In ice dance, there's definitely more kind of ambiguous, right? It's being a judge sport, and that there's not something overly like there's not a bunch of falls in ice dance, as I said earlier, right? So it can
Yeah.
be a little more um, variance in the judging.
Which is nice. And like I was dying to ask this question, and I know it's not what exactly you do, but I want to know what the skating community is like. One of my favorite films is I, Tanya. Me and Keith were discussing it.
Oh no, that was good. Yeah.
And it's just like it is such a great movie, and it's obviously like based on a true story. I imagine it's very competitive in the skating community as well. Maybe not to the point anywhere it gets shot in the knee, but
No, yeah, it's not like that anymore. Yeah, there
yeah.
was definitely I think, well, skating at its height was like the 80s and 90s, I think, when it was at its biggest popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those guys were definitely they were quite intense. Nowadays, there is that intensity between people, but everyone's very nice. So, like, very supportive. Like, say you were to have a bad competition, we would for sure get messages from people saying,
Oh,
like, hope you're okay. Or, like, if we didn't get good results, people would message and be like, hey, thought you guys deserve more or something along those lines. So definitely very supportive. A lot of people find themselves in the same boat, being like you're trying to push your way through. So there is really no one that comes to mind that's like a detractor against people. I mean, there's definitely different dynamics with some cultures. I mean, the Russians are definitely like more intense. Like they
I
come
don't mess
across as much
around.
more intimidating. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think they'll be back next year. So that'll be something to adjust to again. But even then, like once you talk to them, like by and large, they're very nice, right? So um
You're so
yeah.
politically
I
correct,
was just
and
gonna
it's
say that.
lovely. It's just so lovely to hear. You're like, everyone, the
To
Russians they'll be back. I was like, I don't think they would miss
I'm not
it.
saying everyone's lovely, but like if you were to take an average, yes, everyone is very nice.
No one's hiring any hitmen or anything like
Not anymore. Yeah, that's what
in
I'm saying.
Not
Not at this
anymore.
day and age. Yeah. So back in the 80s, yes, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Going around the ice
Nowadays,
rink with a
not so much.
knife. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I heard one story from, I don't know if you know him, it was Brian Orser.
Yeah.
He was like a famous Canadian singles guy. And he
Okay.
told us that one time, but like right before his program, like he was just going on, or I think he was either his warm up or his program. Someone asked him, they were like, Brian, do you breathe in or out before your triple axel? Like his
I've
hardest
heard that
element, a
before.
total
Yeah,
mental,
yeah,
like, and
yeah.
then like, but that was way more common back then. People do
Mm.
not do that anymore. But I was just like, man, that's savage.
I've heard people doing that in so many different sports. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
not the culture for sure anymore. Like, I would say the culture is definitely supportive, and it's, if anything, it will be like people talking behind people's back. You know what I mean? Nothing, no
Yeah.
one does like that stuff anymore.
Just think it's like, that film just made me laugh so much. What is your favorite
Oh, it's
skating?
outrageous.
Yeah. Is it?
Favorite skating film?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah, that's
obviously this across a couple of
honestly,
genres.
yeah, that's probably the best one. And then every figure skater's kind of favorite one is Blades of Glory with Will Ferrell, and
we were talking about
you
that
can't
as well.
you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that one,
Yeah.
right? So
What was the famous move they did
Flying
where like
Lotus.
you could yeah, that's the one you could chop
Yeah,
someone's
yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's the one. Jesus Christ.
yeah.
It's so
totally accurate. Everything in
Yeah,
that. If you want skating, that's your go-to
that's the
educational
one.
thing.
Yeah, based on a
There's
true
actually a
story.
documentary. Yeah,
Yeah,
documentary.
This Will
Jesus.
Ferrell is just, yeah, he's just a man. So, Shane,
Mm.
before we get into our final quick fire round, you do want to just bring us up to date what's next for you? I know, like you said, you're coming to Ireland, for the very important task of trying Spice Bag, but I think there's going to be some other important things as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
on our radar next week we have the European Championships. So that's in Tallinn, Estonia.
Mhm.
We'll be leaving on the Monday, getting there the Tuesday, and then we compete the Friday and Saturday. So last year at that event, I believe we were 13th. So we definitely want to try to
There.
push that ranking. If we could crack the top 10, that would be awesome. But it's a very deep field there. So we're going down there to kind of lay it down, do our job, and then kind of see where the cards lay it out. And
Wow.
then, yeah,
Yeah.
following that, we have Worlds in end of March, and that's in Boston. So we're super
That's in
excited for that one.
Boston.
Wow, that's going to be a good one, isn't it?
So it's a
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're super excited.
busy Q1, as we say in sales, busy
yeah.
Q1.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
we have a
busy
very
Q1.
busy
Yeah,
Q1. Yes.
yeah. Um, before we go to the quick fire, because we have a few minutes, so I want to ask you actually, because we usually ask the most guests this question, and we get kind of interesting answers. Like, if you had to
Sorry,
try
that's my
another
dog.
sport,
That's okay.
dog training, what would you do?
Yeah, okay, he's gone. Go ahead. Sorry.
Do you want to lift them up?
Oh yeah, I'll go. Give me a moment. I'll go grab
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
Yeah, we'd love to meet him. I do love a little dog cameo
yeah. I
on the
know.
show.
Yeah, I know.
They
Um,
take up all Zooms, all all virtual calls.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Yeah. Oh, look at this.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
not that small.
That is a big
He
puppy.
sounded like a little
Yeah.
puppy.
Ooh.
Or she? Is he or she?
Well, it's a boy, but
The
he's
boy.
Oh my
yeah, he's like
God.
long. He's a wiener like lab mix.
I was going to
So
say,
he's
I was like, I saw Lab on him straight away when you were
Yeah,
sitting there. He is
yeah,
gorgeous.
oh thanks. Yeah, I imagine like a chunky what are those dogs? Chunky corgi, like a more robust corgi kind of size
yeah,
dog. Pretty funny.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? Actually, I don't know why I expected the smaller dog. Just the bark kind of sounded smaller, or the wasn't a bark, but yeah.
Yeah, his little bark, and then you see him, you're like, okay, I guess he's a big
It's
guy.
usually
Like,
the other way around.
Yeah, he's pretty short though. He'll come up below your knee. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a low rider.
He's low rider. I had like a Dachshund, like a sausage dog, and
With that, yeah. So
yeah,
same.
yeah, you're saying that, yeah, but he'd bark, and because it's like a hound, it really loud bark, and people on the outside would think you had like a Rottweiler or
Yeah,
something,
and then it
and
just
the
this little
door would
thing.
open. Yeah,
funny,
yeah, exactly. Oh God, I'll tell you a very quick story, and I know I want to ask you. We have a few minutes, so
Yeah,
I want to
yeah. No,
ask you.
no rush.
I want to ask you the question that I was going to ask you a minute ago, but just the sausage dog we had, it was a black. He was black and tan, so he's the same colors of a Rottweiler. Like a Rottweiler dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly the same colors, and we brought him to a park when he was like only like a dog park when he was only a puppy, and he saw a Rottweiler. It was like I don't know whether he thought it was his pair, but he ran over to the Rottweiler like as if having an argument with and the Rottweiler turned and started to chase the white dog,
Oh,
right?
no way.
And he turned and he ran, and as he was running, he was weeing as he was running because he was so terrified. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was the last time he ever had a go at a Rottweiler.
That's a classic wiener dog. Like those dogs are
Classic.
hilarious.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
they want to boss everything they do.
they do. They have like a big dog complex, don't they? There's a small dog complex with
Yeah,
Also
he
complex.
thought he was the size of a Rottweiler.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Gonna
yeah.
take his chances.
Mad. But I'll ask you the question anyway. So we kind of always ask this question. We
Mhm.
always you get interesting answers. So like, if you had to try another sport, like, do you have well, apart from the ice hockey, is there something else that you would like to try?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, am I going back in time and then like, or right now, you mean?
Uh, Anything
Right
at
now,
all.
I guess. See,
Now
whatever
it's
like you're
yeah,
passionate about.
yeah. Now I suppose, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I would definitely, yeah, if I had time, I would do tennis. I definitely really like tennis.
Hmm.
And then I'd want to try Yeah, maybe like a sled sport, maybe. I don't know. I've seen those videos of those people. They're pretty cool. So
Yeah,
I'd give that a go as well.
Do you know
yeah.
what you'd
So
be really
tennis
good
and
at?
like a sled sport. Sorry, go
Mm.
on.
Okay, that is like I'm very surprised that no one has signed you up to a shampoo commercial because you have the best hair I think I have ever seen. So look, if skating doesn't work out, someone give
Yeah,
this man a sponsorship deal.
Yeah.
I'll segue that way for sure. Yeah, I'll start sending some emails.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean that I definitely see that in your future. I
Thank
can
you.
see that in your future.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. Do you know what? He kind of reminds me a little bit of Strictly Come Dancing. I don't know if you watched that, Claire. Do you, like, obviously that's Dancing with the Stars in the UK. It's called that. Yeah,
Yep.
Strictly Come Dancing. And there was a dancer, and he looked very similar to you, and he had the exact same hair. I just can't think of his name. And he had a brother who was also a dancer, and he performed in the Irish version of it.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I can't remember his name, but his hair was very, very similar to yours. I just don't know. It just kind of reminded me of that
Yeah.
because I
So
think they were in a
everybody
shampoo
loved
ad.
him. Very popular.
He was, yeah. My little
Perfect.
girl absolutely loved you tuning in
Oh,
every Saturday just to watch him dance. I can't remember his name, but anyway, yeah.
so yeah, I see some hair sponsorships in your future, Shane. I actually work full time in sales and sponsorships. So if any opportunities come up, I'll get in touch. So
Send them my way. I'm very
I
receptive to
will. My
that. So of course,
pleasure. My pleasure.
yeah.
So let's go on to our final quick fire round. So Shane, death row meal, what would it be?
Death. Okay, sorry. Quick fire. Death row. Lasagna. No,
Les-
sorry. That no. I changed. Sushi. Definitely sushi.
That is a very good, very healthy, but a very nice choice. I'm a big sushi fan myself. So yeah, I can understand that. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Can't live. I think it's my. Is it Mariah Carey?
That's Mariah Carey. I love that
Yes.
song. And it's also an ambitious vocal range. So I'm guessing
I like to
singing,
push myself. Yeah.
yeah, might be another talent you're not telling us about.
Did you see our story yesterday? Was it yesterday of Claire doing the karaoke? Is
Oh
it still
yeah.
Oh no,
up
I didn't.
there?
Well, what song?
So
What was
yesterday,
it?
as you know, I'm sure everyone knows, is like Blue Monday because it's like the third Monday in January, and it's supposed to be like the most depressing day. So I just posted a video of me singing Madonna like a virgin in karaoke, and I just asked
Amazing.
everyone on my socials like, what is your feel good song on Blue Monday to like give everyone a lift. So everyone was actually really came back with loads of cool answers. A lot of 80s power ballads. A
Yeah.
lot of yeah, kind of older songs, a lot of
Yeah.
ballads.
You usually get a
But
lot of the older songs for karaoke, don't they? Kind of the songs that people remember, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
a
Mm,
a
yeah.
lot of Oasis as well, stuff like that. But
Oasis, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
yeah,
That was
I
some stage you were on, Claire, doing like if you go on, I don't know if it's still there, but this isn't like the normal karaoke. Claire was on some big huge stage with big screens. Like this was like I don't know,
It
like
was. Did you sell
American Idol
tickets
or something.
before? Was it an event?
it was actually at a hotel in Malta, and yeah, I just obviously had a couple of fizzy drinks at that stage, so I thought, right, I'm just going to go up and do this, and I sang my heart out to Madonna, who I love, and yeah, I'm just was able to reuse that content yesterday, so people
Awesome.
seem to like it, and it was really cool to hear everyone else's like feel good songs because I personally, I'm sure everyone does. I rely on music a lot to give you a little lift when I can't
Hmm.
finish my runs or I'm tired or I don't want to go to the gym. I'm like, okay. I
Yeah,
need my playlist, and then I can do this. The
yeah,
power of music.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
it's so true. Okay, we just met your gorgeous dog. If your pet could talk, what would they say about you?
Uh, they would say he doesn't feed me enough and to give me more treats.
Yes, I think many dogs would definitely
Yeah.
would agree with that answer as well. Okay, so Shane, what store would you like to max out a credit card in?
Uniqlo.
Oh, what is that?
What was that?
Oh, they do you guys have them there? It's like
Don't
a
know.
Japanese clothing store.
Oh,
We just got them in Canada like maybe 2, 3 years ago.
Okay.
Check them out. It's good. Very good.
Yeah, I not don't know if you have that, do we? I've never heard of it.
no, I've never heard of this, but I'm going to check it out because I'm a fan
Yeah.
of all things Asian, Japanese, and stuff. So I've
Mm,
definitely got to check it out. Is it like sportswear? Is it?
It's like sport and casual. Actually, they kind of got it all. It's like H&M, but just
right.
I
Okay.
find the cut of the clothing is better for me, I guess, because it's Japanese, so it's a bit more fitted,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I like. So
Yeah.
definitely
Okay.
that.
Gotta check that out.
Yeah.
What's it called
Interesting.
again? Uni?
Uniqlo. Yeah, I think it's
Uni UN.
UNIQLO.
Okay, Uniqlo. I like it. Okay,
Yeah.
gotta check that out as well. And last but not least, Shane, if you were an alcoholic drink, what would you be and why?
Uh, Alcoholic drink and
Mm.
why? I guess we can go to. I'll go tequila shot.
I
Right.
like it.
You could dress it up or get a little wild with it. So
Very good.
And that is a gold star answer to finish off the podcast. That one,
thanks.
That's a good one. Yeah.
memorable tequila shot.
Mm. Don't
And
know if
what about you
tequila
guys?
agrees with me. Did we ever answer these? I don't think we've ever answered these questions ourselves, have we? Or have we? I don't think so.
I personally would be a spicy margarita.
Nice.
That's my go-to cocktail because it's like it's invigorating, it's fun, and I do like a little bit of spice. So that would be my choice. Keith, what about you?
I'm trying to think of a cocktail. I'm actually just completely gone blank here. I don't know. I don't know. I do like what's your the espresso martini.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
not sure why I'd call myself that, but I do like them.
Because you could have it at breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I guess,
There you
right?
go. Can't get enough of
Yeah, can't get enough of them.
Can't get enough, but it's like two of the best things. You got
them.
keep the coffee and the alcohol.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's you can't go
yeah.
wrong.
And too many of them makes you a bit nauseous. So
They do. Yeah, always drink responsibly. Everyone
Yes.
listening. So
yeah.
Yeah.
thank you so much, Shane, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to chat to us. It's been so interesting, and we wish you the very best with the upcoming competitions. And everyone can follow along, I'm sure, on your socials to see you and your partner's progress.
Yeah, of course. And thank you for making the time to see me. Really appreciate it.
Oh, it's
And
an
it was
absolute
lovely
pleasure.
talking with you both.
You too. Brilliant. Thanks, Shane.
Cheers. Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you. Ciao.